Hey podcast, just before we get you to this episode, I wanted to invite you to join us at pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and we want you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make the pageant industry safe, transparent, and fair, and we'd love your input on how to do that. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, whack in your email address, and let's get you to this episode.
Hey guys, I'm Danielle Latimer, the current Ms. Galaxy UK, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hey everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and I have with me the queen of self-incrimination, the queen of really bad dad jokes, and now just the queen, that's MS Galaxy UK, Danielle Latimer. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you. I'm just going to walk on in now to my official soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Okay, there's enough of that cheese.
I was going to say, I really hope that doesn't get this video copyright strike banned, because you've played like...
A little snippet, just a snippet. Is there copyright laws to that? Would the money go to the Queen?
No, not to the Queen. The money would go to the people who performed that, or the person who wrote it. Although I think it's an old enough song that it wouldn't be an issue. Anyway... I am really bright. I'm going to turn my video settings down. But I guess we should start with the obvious. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have to ask, how does it feel? It's been, just over a week now. Has it sunk in, etc., etc.? Catch us up, because it's been about a week, I think, since your win.
It's been 2 weeks today.
Oh, wow.
So this time 2 weeks, I was... on the stage. It's craziness. But yeah, I catch you up on the past 2 weeks. So obviously watched Junior Miss and Teen the following day after winning. Also had my photo shoot with Brian, which was incredible. Following day after that, I had our shoot with Charlotte Clemmy. I had my individuals, and also we had our little group shoot as well, which you still need to pick the photos for, Adrian.
I picked it last night.
Today?
I did, and then when I woke up this morning, I realized I picked them, but I didn't tell Charlotte which ones. So I still have to get on that. I'm getting there, Danielle. It's been 2 weeks, okay? It takes time.
Okay, I'll give you a break. And then obviously watched Miss Galaxy. And then since then, obviously drove you down to London. We went out for a nice dinner, hung out in London. And then since you left, I've been in self-isolation, really. Only left the house a handful of times to go and get some groceries for my family. And that is it, really. Been very active on social media. I hope people have noticed.
YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, particularly TikTok. And I have officially launched my YouTube channel, which has been a long time in the making. So I was very nervous about that, but yeah, very excited. It's nice to have an outlet for my creativity.
I think it's great that you finally launched. I mean, how long were you thinking about launching a YouTube channel for? It's been a while, right?
So many years. I mean, before I got involved in pageantry, it was back in the day when, I was at university and watching makeup tutorials. I didn't have the skills, because obviously I was still learning. I was following the tutorials. I didn't have the skills to put together videos. I still don't even have the skills to put together videos. I'm just about getting by. But I feel like over the past decade, I've grown a wealth of knowledge in different areas. So yeah, kind of bringing that all together. Now I've got something to, oh God, it's still not mounted. So yeah, just over the past few years, kind of gained some skills to share with everyone.
I think it's great that you took the leap, and I'm hoping that, I mean, obviously, I don't know if people are watching this live. If you're watching live, say hi in the comments, or you're watching it a year from now, 5 years now, 10 years from now. But at the moment, obviously, we're in the middle of the corona crisis, and because so many people have so much time on their hands, unwillingly, for most people, I think it's great that people give different things a go. So with your YouTube channel, do you have any particular goals for yourself, where you want to take it or anything like that?
I don't have any like subscriber goals or like, you know, that kind of stuff. For me, it's just a creative outlet. Where I want to take it is more around fashion, styling. For those that don't know, I used to dabble in styling a few years ago.
I think you did a bit more than dabble.
I was I did a lot of styling day to day, every day, and I loved it so much. I miss it so much, and it's coming back into my life now. I've only been styling myself, but for my channel I do actually want to be styling others. So if anyone's watching this, I will be looking for models to work with, who I can come in and we can do, you know, not necessarily a makeover. You girls don't need a makeover, but we'll have like a dress up day. Maybe take people out of their comfort zones, try something new, but also I'll be styling on myself, doing hauls, and also trying to talk about the sustainability part of fashion as well. I'm guilty of fast fashion, absolutely. It's hard to not be, but I do want to focus more on designer or luxury. Ideally, I don't have the money to be buying a Chanel bag every weekend. I don't. I'm very savvy in my spending patterns in fashion. So I kind of wanted to bring the skills that I've gained over the years from being an insider in the fashion world, how you can get some nice key designer pieces that will last you years and years and years, like your whole life. And that keep the value as well. So if you ever at a struggle point in your life, you can sell this key piece and it would be holding its value as well.
So as I said, you do more than dabble, because anyone who can talk that much about fashion, knows all the ins and outs, has done more than dabbling. Kelsey has said, "Hey, Ms. Galaxy UK," with a love heart, an exclamation love heart emoji. It's been a while since I've seen that one, Kels. Hope you are doing well as well, Kelsey. We're all locked inside. What was I going to say? Because the running joke has been, whenever I put up a poll and ask who's got the best walk, it's Lauren, our other podcast co-host, and whoever's got the best sense of style is yourself. That's not me saying it, that's the audience saying it, although I would tend to agree with them. Can you recount for us how you got involved in style, or what piqued your interest with style to begin with? Was it just something you were always interested in, or was it something that happened because of a particular reason?
I think I've always been interested in it, but my style wasn't necessarily refined. As a child, I used to wear bright colors, garish colors. I used to dress myself. My parents gave me a lot of freedom to put on whatever I wanted to wear. I could be anything I wanted to be. So growing up in my teenage years, if I wanted to dress like a cowboy, I'll dress like a cowboy. If I wanted to dress like a cheerleader, I'll dress like a cheerleader. If I wanted to dress like in safari get up, I'll wear safari get up. I had so many personas that I wanted to create growing up, that every day was dress up, and I'm still maintained to this day, every day should be dress up. Everyone has some, it's true. I mean, your clothes are kind of like a reflection of who you are. Not to everyone, you know. For me, it's a reflection of who I am, how I'm feeling. And if I wake up in the morning and be like, okay, I want to, you know, it starts with underwear, guys. Let's not get me started. Your girl knows, if you wake up and you're putting your granny pants on, you are not feeling good that morning. You're not.
Absolutely.
If you wake up and put your best pair of pants on, you're going to have a banging day. So
this is one of the things got to make sure, because as an Australian, pants for us literally means anything that you wear on your lower half. So it could be trousers, it could be jeans, but to you guys in the US, in the UK, pants means something very different.
Undergarments.
Yes.
Pantyhose. Although pantyhose in some countries is your tights, but yeah, underwear. It all starts with underwear, and good underwear at that. Doesn't have to be fancy, just has to fit.
I mean, I saw your story this morning. You recorded your second video, which I love the title of. It was Bougie on a Budget.
Yes.
Have you released that one yet, or yet to release it?
It's not. It's actually uploading still. I was forewarned that YouTube does take some time for it to upload.
It takes a bit of time.
Just before we jumped on live, it was just over halfway uploaded, and then I do have to type up all the information in the bar below. Yeah. There is a lot of information that needs to go in there as well about all the products that I'm talking about, all the items that I'm talking about in there. So I will have to fill that all out.
Yeah.
So it should be ready by tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Kelsey has said, I am good, making the most of my time indoors. Yeah, I saw your exercise video, Kelsey.
Yes, Kelsey.
I'm supposed to be doing, Marcy Reed wants me to do the 100 squat challenge, so I probably have to do that.
She did me with the 20 press-ups, and
wasn't it 10?
I did it.
It was 10, wasn't it?
10, yeah, it was 10.
I'm sure it was 10, it wasn't 20.
It felt like 20. Well, I actually did 20 because
you did 20
I filmed it I did 10 press-ups, and my phone shut off, and technophobe, and then I looked at my phone and it didn't record, and then I was like, great, I've just done this, I'm gonna have to re-record it because I can't not do it. So I did do 20 press-ups in the end, but it was supposed to be a 10 press-up challenge. I was
in for a penny, in for a pound. I've just seen that Maria has joined, so Maria, here's to you. Here's to your health. So coming back to the pageant, so the styling thing is very exciting, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. I know we've talked about it a fair bit, and it's a natural skill that you have. In terms of pageantry, let's talk about what you're going to be doing for the year. So you've won. We've talked endlessly about the worst thing that you can do is win and do nothing. So, and then we got hit with Corona. So it's kind of thrown a monkey wrench in a lot of people's plans. I mean, Maria Kelsey, for example, the outgoing international queens, the international director, and then obviously yourself, you've worked so hard for this. I know how hard you've worked for, as you say, over a decade. Now that you've won, forgetting Corona for a second, what are your plans for the year of your reign?
Okay, I've got a few big goals. I want to hold 2 large events. One being the Pageant Olympics, which I've spoken about a few times. I mentioned it in my interview at Galaxy as well. I maintain that this will be a phenomenal event, which is open to every pageant girl in every system. It's not exclusively for Galaxy. I want a broad range of different pageantry girls there to bring it all together for us to just, have an event which is really open. I mean, most events are fully inclusive. Most events are inclusive. They are. But whether people actually, come to them, it usually tends to be like a certain group. But I want it to really open up and be a huge event. So with the Olympics being postponed now, which I believe they've just announced.
Till next year. Yeah.
I would be looking to postpone the Pageant Olympics until the time of the Olympics, because I want to run it at the same time. Yeah, I want to do it when it's pageant, when it's Olympic fever. Everyone's getting into it. It's always pageant fever. Yeah, there's always pageant fever, but particularly the pageant that I can't get. I'm thinking about pageants all the time. The Pageant Olympics, I want it to be coinciding with the Olympics, so that will be on hold as well. But I have found a stadium that is willing to take us all, us mad lot.
You found a stadium. This is going to be huge. You found a stadium.
Yeah, I have a stadium with a track with everything that is needed for athletics.
Okay, so you have to clue us in on the events, since the 10 push-up challenge has already proven very challenging for some people. What sort of events do you have lined up for us at the Pageant Olympics? The Pageant Olympics.
There will be traditional style, Olympics. So there'll be a 200-meter dash. Looking into, depending on equipment, so there'll be like long jump, shot put, javelin, and then there'll also be the fun ones like the egg and spoon race,
sack race, the
3-legged race, so
wheelbarrow race.
Yeah, all of that good stuff. I basically won a school sports day. And I want to get the pageant fam involved as well. Mum and Dad, come on down. I'm tempted to do a three-legged race with like a pageant parent. So you and your mum or you and your dad, and then you do a race.
That
So
would
get
be
everyone
interesting.
involved.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
actually had that three-legged race and it had to be with a pageant girl and a parent. Who do you actually think would win?
Whoever has the longest legs. It's got to be, isn't it? Who's got the longest legs? Harriet? Harriet and her dad would be good contenders, I reckon.
Her dad's pretty tall as well?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just putting money on Harriet, are we?
Trying to think who's got like an athletic parent as well. But I
want
think
to know who
Harriet
would
is
be
the
good
one
at
to
the
watch for that one.
javelin or the
she
shot
wants to
put.
enter it. But obviously we've got Sarah Davies, who's going to be out at the Olympics. Well, I don't want like we're touching wood. So we have someone to cheer on as well. Ideally, I'd like to co-inline. This is what I was looking at. I was trying to inline the pageant Olympics to be at the same time of Sarah when she's competing, so we can have a big screen and we can all watch Sarah together. That was my thinking, but obviously it really depends on the time difference. Obviously it's in Tokyo, and the dates now have all changed, so it's all TBC at the moment. My second event, however, is still going ahead, and it is Beauty Queen to Bear Grylls. It is an outdoors adventure and recreation weekend. There'll be camping, hopefully a campfire if we can get that signed off, some hiking, some challenges along the way. There'll be beauty queen challenges as well. There'll be dancing around the campfire in my mind, s'mores, sleeping bag races, so all that good stuff. So if you're a little bit outdoorsy, or if you're not outdoorsy and you feel like you want to kind of get a little bit more outdoorsy, then come along to that.
When are you planning on holding that? Will it be in your guys like soon? Like, well, with Corona, who knows? But like summerish or winterish?
Originally, my timeline was going to be pageant Olympics, obviously competing at international, come back from international, and then do the Beauty Queen to Bear Grylls. Now this is kind of all flip reversed. I'm planning on doing the Beauty Queen to Bear Grylls first. So I'll probably do that towards the end of summer, just while it's still warm, but obviously not too hot where you wake up in a tent and you feel like you're in an oven, but not cold where you feel like it's, you're all freezing and you're all miserable. So probably around about September, early September time, maybe mid-September, go to internationals, come back from internationals, and obviously next year do the Pageant Olympics. But another goal of mine is, other than the two events, I really want to focus on volunteering. I found a great love for volunteering with my local conservation group. So I've set myself a goal of accumulating 100 hours of volunteer service to community, and that will be out there for the whole pageant community to do. So if anyone has done some volunteering, they would submit proof of their volunteer work, and I would count up the hours, and I need to get it signed off, but hopefully that would count as an appearance anyway. So I'd send, if you've completed an hour of volunteering, I send you over a certificate for that, and then it counts to my tally in the run-up to Galaxy International.
Tell people a little bit more about your conservation group in case they haven't seen it or heard about it before, because you actually run their social, well, you run the Instagram for them as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. So I get together the first Sunday of every month with the Lee Bridge Conservation Volunteers. They are such fun guys. Mushroom joke. I had to get a dad joke in there.
I swear you have a dad joke for every occasion. I sent Danielle a joke about corn the other night, and it's this corn cob speaking at a funeral, and he's saying in retrospect it was a bad idea to have him cremated, and he's surrounded by popcorn. And then you said corny joke. I was like, do you? Okay, before we get sidetracked, the conservation group, And just before you do that, Sophie Cadman has said Pageant Olympics, count me in. So there you have one sign up already. So back to the conservation group, and that's one for the dad jokes. We should keep a tally.
It's like a ding.
Your sash.
So yeah, we get together the first Sunday of every month, and we have a task every month. So it's set by the people that kind of own the site that we're helping out on. Mm-hmm. Most of the times it's a bramble bash. So basically it's where the brambles, I'm sure most of you are familiar with brambles,
thorny things, right? Thorny branches. Yeah.
So they grow super quickly, and they are a pain in the bottom. So they grow over pathways. So we basically remove all of that, hack it all down. It does grow back the next summer, always does. You can't get rid of the stuff. But just make it nice and safe for walkways for people when they walk their dog in that area. And then we have other more kind of challenging tasks where we do coppicing or like cutting down trees. Cutting down trees doesn't sound very eco-friendly because you're supposed to be planting trees, but there are certain trees that shouldn't be growing in certain areas. So our job is to remove the trees that shouldn't be there, that started to grow. And then we have other tasks where it's kind of more wildlife based. There's been noted some new wildlife in the area, so we just make sure that everything's tip-top and dandy for them to live in that area. If there's anything that needs to be taken out of that environment so that species can thrive, we do so that.
Natalie Pav, your Mrs. Galaxy UK, newly crowned, she said, tuned in and within 30 seconds, a dad joke. Natalie, this is a story of my life. Go 30 seconds without a dad joke, it's a good day. And she's also said, can I come down one Sunday when this is all over and help? And then would, and then a cut. So is it going ahead at the moment with Corona? Because you guys, is it?
No, unfortunately not. I just got I got a text message yesterday from Colin, who runs the group. Unfortunately, we can't meet together and do any volunteering tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? No, it's not tomorrow. It's Sunday. Today's Friday. Gosh, I'm losing track of days because of Corona. So we won't be meeting on Sunday, unfortunately. It's all a bit up in the air, as everything else is.
Yeah, exactly.
So it made me really sad, and I was just like, oh, I'm not going to see my guys. And it's just a group of I think they had the shock of their life when they saw me rock up. And they were like, are you lost? There's actually the community centre they hold it in. There's like a dance hall, and then there's the conservation volunteers, and they thought that I was going to the dance thing. And I was like, no, I'm here to help.
Well, you are a dancer.
Volunteer. Yeah. Well, I didn't realise there was a dance group there. I saw it, but then I was just like, I wasn't dressed appropriately. I was definitely wearing my my camo pants, ready to get down and dirty. So it was quite fun. It's a group of I'm going to put this, they're slightly older than me a little bit. I don't know what the average age is, bless them, but it's all guys. I'm the only girl. I'm definitely an honorary dude in there. We get biscuits. We have like a little tea break, and that is like my highlight. They know I love the biscuits.
You should see what their reaction would be like if you turned up in your crown and sash, now that you have one.
Well, they wanted me to. They were like, make sure, like, if you win, come and bring the crown next time. We'll have a photo. Because obviously I chew their ear off about pageantry all the time, and they're really interested, and they ask lots of questions, and we have a good laugh about it. So when we're not talking about trees, they're getting to know me and what I do a little bit better as well.
Okay, so we've talked about, obviously, it's all pageantry. We've talked about styling. We've talked about your love for the environment and conservation in general, and also you love to travel. So one thing I didn't get to ask you in our first interview, way back when, was sort of growing up, because everyone says they're not the typical pageant queen. In fact, everyone says it to the point where that's a typical thing to say is, I'm not a typical pageant queen. But I mean, you're really not. I've seen, for example, some of the photos from your conservation group, and you're in your, what is it, the overalls, and you're, like knee deep in. knee deep in mud or something. It's very unglamorous. So growing up, how did you become sort of the I'm going to say random, but the well-rounded person that you are, and you've got all these different interests? How did you end up being where you are now with a crown and sash on your head? Because a lot of these interests seem very, very different and in different directions.
Yeah.
So you must have had an interesting childhood.
Yeah, well, I was very lucky in the sense that my dad always exposed me to different things. He's always like, "What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to do at the weekend?" And I would always pick out something random, just as how I was kind of bright and out there with my outfits, and I always wanted to be something different. I always want to do something different every weekend. So one weekend I was like, I want to learn how to be a gymnast and go to gymnastics. Next minute I wanted to do horse riding. Next minute I wanted to swim. I've always wanted to learn skills in different areas. I've always been very curious. Yeah. I've always wanted to master what I wanted to do. I used to just move to different hobbies all the time. I always said that my dad was bringing me up to be James Bond because I knew how to ride a jet ski by the age of 11. I had scuba dived, was getting my paddy. I did sea cadets. There was gymnastics. I always just thought I was ready to be a super spy. And I haven't lost that. I still think I have quite a playful personality, and I definitely encourage embracing so many different facets of yourself and learning new skills. So yeah, that's kind of how it's all come about, really. Before pageantry became my obsession, cheerleading was my obsession. I reached a level in cheerleading where I was kind of like, I'm ready, I'm happy to move on to something new, and then pageantry came into my life.
Can you just sort of off the top of your head recount sort of maybe some random facts about you? Because now I'm remembering back to our first interview and you were talking about dodgeball. There's the cheerleading. You told me that you've jet skied down the Thames. So just in terms of random facts or random things that Danielle Latimer has done throughout her years, can you catch us up with some of the list?
You put me on the spot now. I'm just so random. I'm trying to think of something.
You've been to the you were an Olympic ambassador as well. Yes, a Youth Olympics ambassador.
So with that, I was fortunate enough. Actually, I wasn't picked originally. So my school is the largest school in the East End of London. I think it's the largest school in London, potentially in England. Huge school. There was probably about 800 people, I want to say, in my year group. So you can imagine how massive there was people that I saw on my presentation evening. We couldn't have a prom because there was too many of us. We all wouldn't fit in a hall. We had presentation evenings that were broken down like a graduation. There was people that I saw that had been at this school for 5 years and had never seen them before in my life. It was that big. I've lost my train of thought.
Random facts, Danielle.
There's a random fact coming.
We're talking about the Olympics.
Yes, that's it. And I used to excel in sport just to get out of doing homework. I believe I told you this before. And
basketball.
I used to play basketball. I used to swim. I used to...
You did the underwater water hockey. What was that one called?
That's my dad, Octopus.
Octopus.
He plays. Yeah, he doesn't play it anymore, but he was like, if you Google it, Octopus, it is underwater hockey with tiny little hockey sticks. But those pucks, if you get one in the eye,
Speaking from experience.
Thankfully not. I didn't get a puck to the eye, but my dad's had a few pucks to the eye. He would go to work with a black eye and it'd look like he'd been in
a fight, in a pub brawl.
And if you know my dad, he's the least confrontational person in the world. But regularly he'd go into work with a black eye, and it's because he had a puck to the face. But my random fact is I wasn't picked originally to be an Olympic Youth Ambassador. I kicked up a stink because my friends had been picked, had been narrowed down to potentially help with the London 2012 bid. Now, I went straight to my PE teachers, and I was a bit of a teacher's pet to the PE teachers because I used to type up their registers. Like, I lived in there because I just wanted to not come home and not wanted to do any homework. I used to live in it, and I was just like, right, to the teachers, right, why was I not signed up to this? And they were like, oh, we must have like overthought it, we'll put you down. Put me down, and I ended up getting picked, and my friends didn't. So they
look so
happy.
upset about it.
I was like, sorry. My best friend growing up, she actually did get picked, so it was fun going with her. But yeah, I was 15, 16 at the time. We had a ton of meetings in the run-up. Everything was hush-hush, wasn't allowed to tell the press.
Wow.
We had uniforms. We had to go to loads of events here. And then we were all flown out. There was 30 of us kids from the East End of London, flown out to Singapore. We were in the room with Jacques Rogge, and we did our presentation for the London bid to be the host city. And we did our presentation, we waved on camera. There's a scene where we're all waving, these little kids from the East End, you can imagine. I do have a funny anecdote where David Beckham was sitting behind me, and I made him burst out laughing because the kid next to me, who was the youngest of the group, he was about, 11, and we had these little walkie-talkie things that translated everything, and I don't know what he did to it because he wasn't listening and he was playing around. It started blasting out in French. So I smacked it out of his hand, beaten the bejesus out of it, and ripped out the batteries and thrown the damn thing back at him. And I didn't realise David Beckham was sitting behind me. He burst out laughing. I turned around, as you can imagine, as a 16-year-old with the biggest crush on David Beckham, I was mortified. And this was the second time that he'd laughed at me as well. So, that's a little funny anecdote from that.
The first time was...
The first time I made David Beckham laugh was...
Bethany, thank you. Bethany, the new Miss Teen Galaxy UK. Just quickly, if you're watching, what that was, I mean, that GIF was Kelsey Poulton, the current international Miss Galaxy. If you look below, we've got a donation bar going, and Danielle has actually talked a lot about this as well, for our Pageant TripAdvisor site, Pageant review site, to help girls get into pageantry and make more educated decisions. People can leave reviews of pageants, eventually coaches and things like that. You can see very small font there, streamlabs.com/Adrian Kwan. If you would like to donate, just head to that URL. It's all appreciated. I've costed it out myself. I think it will cost about £250 for the first year, and even if we don't hit that goal, I'll probably do it off my own back anyway, because it's just such a needed resource after having done sort of 20 podcasts with Danielle and Lauren and all our guests, and we've had a few negative pageant experiences, particularly last year. We wanted to do something about it, so that was that. So thank you, Bethany, and Bethany, please book in your interview. Natalie, Pav, if you're watching, please book in your interview as well. And Danielle, back to the first time that you made David Beckham laugh.
So us kids, we all got taken to the British Club in Singapore. Super hot day, and I've been drinking a lot of water to stay hydrated, being sensible. We had loads of activities planned. I played football with Bobby Charlton, which it was an insane moment in my life. He told me that I should join a girls' football league. I didn't listen to him, but I was captain of my football team at school. So that was an incredible moment in time. But because I was drinking so much water to stay hydrated, because my mum pressured me, you've got to drink your water, I was bursting for the loo, and everyone was like, right, David Beckham's about to arrive, so everyone needs to line up here, and I'm going to my teacher. I'm not gonna make it through this. And they gave us all these chinos, so we all matched, like chinos and white t-shirts. We look like the preppiest kids ever, and you'd never guessed that we were a load of scoundrels from the East End. But I was like, miss, please, I am going to wet myself. Please let me go to the bathroom. She's gone, Dan, make it quick, go. Yeah. So I've Usain Bolted it up to the bathrooms. I've obviously done my business, washed my hands, and I couldn't find any paper towels. There was not like I didn't have time to hand dry. And so I was just like, well, David Beckham's arriving. I need to get back in line. So I've run out. And I figured it's hot. I'll just wipe it on my trousers and it will dry by the time I'm outside. I ran, burst out of the door, and then boom, my eyes met David Beckham. I'm covered in soaking water, panting in a frantic mess. And he's basically looked at me and burst out laughing. He's walking with his posse and he just burst out laughing, and so is everyone else. This kid's just fallen out of the ladies' bathrooms covered in water. So that was the first time I made David Beckham laugh. So he finds me hilarious.
Okay. I kind of knew where that story was going. I almost picked it. Okay, so a lot of random facts, a lot of random sports, and seemingly a lot of random adventures. So if we just go back to the pageant for a sec, we've talked about how long you've been, like multiple times on the podcast, and even the first time I interviewed you, that you've been interviewed in pageantry for a long time. And maybe you've stayed in it longer than most people would because you've loved it so much. Can you just speak to the audience a bit about the perseverance, why you decided to keep going, and how does it feel now that you've actually won it, but it's been like a 10-year lead up to it?
For me, it wasn't necessarily about perseverance. Perseverance is a great word, but for me, it was never like, come on, I need it. Come on, I need it. Like, I was never like needing the crown. That's probably why I didn't win it for God knows how many times. But I just enjoyed it. I love being a part of this community. I love every aspect of pageantry. I love everything it stands for. I love the community. I love the charity aspect of it. I love having to talk and interview now. I was more anxious about it before. I love being on stage. I love, obviously, getting the gown and feeling incredible. I love everything about pageantry, and I fell in love with pageantry the very first day I got involved with it. It will always be a massive part of my life. Even once I've handed over, I will always love pageantry, and that is why I'm still here. If my main aim was to win the crown, I would have been gone a long time ago, because I have won crowns before. I just love it. I just love the girls. It's my family. I always say I don't have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, because pageantry and the girls involved in pageantry are the loves of my life.
Yeah.
I would like one eventually one day, but pageantry first.
I'll just bring you up to date. Anthony Giannopoulou has said, hello, lovelies. Bit late in the party, but still here. Chloe Lake is in the house. Look how that crown suits you. And,
thank you, Chloe. Your line was amazing.
You are a pageant OG, she has said.
It's actually a video of me. I didn't know what OG meant.
I know. I saw that video. Seen it. I saw it because I did. OG? Yeah, and you didn't know. But why? You talked about how much you loved pageantry, so that's what kept you going and keeps you going. Can you tell us why you love it so much? I mean, because you talked about sports, so we get, for example, obviously you love your sports, you're active, etc. Pageantry for a lot of people will seem like the polar opposite. I think when most people think pageant girls, they don't think of someone who's made David Beckham laugh. So, what parts of pageantry do you love?
I do feel like it is similar with sports, and it's similar with dance, because the way that I see it is it's creative for me, because I'm a creative person. I get to create a look, not necessarily a persona, because I don't want to be fake, but I get to design. When I look at a pageant girl, I see the fabric of the dress, the color, her makeup, her hair, everything. It's like one big masterpiece that's all come together in that beautiful, beautiful moment, which is moving art on stage. So for me, it satisfies the creative aspect. The sporting side and the competitive side of me, each round, you get a maximum points. So if you break it down to sport, you want to score points or score higher in certain rounds. So it brings a competitive element into it. So it's combining two things that I love, kind of not necessarily perfection, But, gaining those points and competitiveness with this creativity, and who doesn't like getting dressed up and feeling good and,
Yeah.
So, and then there's all other aspects about it as well. I wouldn't have done the amount of charity work that I've done if it wasn't for pageantry. You kind of do your bit here and there when you're not involved in pageantry, like going back to my normal life before pageantry. You donate every now and then and help a friend out. If they were running a marathon, you donate. But when you're involved in pageantry, it takes over your life. And my friends and family are like, Dan, stop with asking for money. But, you've got to fundraise somehow.
Yeah. Anthony has said, I loved seeing you getting crowned. You deserved it so much because we could all see how much you wanted it. Danielle, in terms of, you've got, I don't know if we call them fans, you call them family, but I think given how loud the cheers were for you at Galaxy UK, you do have a bit of a fan base happening here. And I'm sure after your YouTube debut, you'll have even more fans. But there's always a question of advice. But let's break it into two. So if you had any advice for sort of the younger demographic getting involved in pageantry, or the ones involved in pageantry, what sort of advice would you give them? But on the flip side, because you are a MS contestant and there are more older people getting into pageantry, older women getting into pageantry for the first time. By older, I mean anything over 28, which is still young to me. But any advice for them, maybe who are just getting into it, but sort of as a late 20-year-old or an early 30-year-old? So advice for the younger crew, and then advice maybe for the older crew as well, because you've lived both worlds.
For the younger demographic, what I'd say is school comes first, always. Your education will always come first. So don't stress yourself out or spend too much time on pageantry. Focus on what's really important. It is just a hobby. Enjoy it. Have fun. Make friends. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And I think these are like things that you can say to the older lot as well. But for the younger lot, have fun. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to do it. If you love it, amazing. Just don't do it too much that you forget about the schoolwork. For my Ms. ladies or Mrs., people that are getting into a little bit later, do your research, do your homework on what you're getting into. Make sure it's a system that's right for you. If you've got family responsibilities, what I'd say is, because there's some pageants that are really demanding on the appearance side of things, where you can get up to I think it's 78 extra points for doing appearances. Is it right for you to do in your time, in your life right now? Don't put pressure on yourself to feel that you have to do a million appearances. You really don't have to. So I just say, research, make sure you've got a good support system around you. And if you don't have a good support system around you, support yourself mentally. It can take a lot out of you depending on how hard you're going for it. So make sure your mental health is up there as well. If you're getting to a little bit later, why are you doing it? Is it, you're coming out of a bad patch and you need to boost your self-esteem? That's amazing. Just figure out your why you're doing it, and what you can bring to the title as well. This is very much something you talk into in the interview. You have a lot more life experience, far more skills you've gained over the years. Use those and bring that to the title, and bring that to your competition. Find out what makes you unique, and don't compare yourself again to any of the other ladies. You're all going to be so different. You're even more different because all the kids are all doing the same thing. They're all on TikTok, they're all in school. They're all carbon copies of one another, really. The Mrs., you've got all different skills going on. Bring that to your competition.
Yeah, different life skills, different life experience. Guys watching on the live, I'm going to take Danielle through the final 10 questions again, just for funsies.
I'm going to have to change them all.
No, you can just do the same. I just want to see if it's changed. So I'll also get it to give a shout out, because obviously when you win a title after a 10-year journey, you'll want to shout out certain people. But if you have any questions, what I was going to say, if you have any questions for Danielle, pageant related, star related, or our favorite, which is just complete random banter. If you've ever seen our podcast, you know that's kind of where we go. Put those questions in the comments now, and I'll throw them at her once we've gone through the shout outs and the final 10. But Ms. Latimer, shout outs first. You've finally got the crown on your head, you're wearing the sash, feeling great. 10 years journey, 10 years plus, long journey. Shout outs. Try not to forget anyone.
I think my first shout out has to go to anyone that's ever said no to me, because you have been the people, or bashed me, or said that I couldn't do it, or wasn't pretty enough. Anyone that's ever thrown shade at me, you make me stronger. And the reason why I keep going is to, show you what I'm made of. So my first shout out has to go out to all of the haters out there. I love you. Keep making me stronger. My shout out to my friends and family, everyone that supported me. My best friend Satvir, she's traveled all over the place to come and support me. Bless her. The entire pageant community. Thank you, Holly and Maria, for creating a system where I feel at home at. Thank you to all of the other directors that I've been a part of your systems. You have made me grow so much. A special shout out to Meggie G. We had this thing at Galaxy where she walked me to nursery or walked me to school and then walked me back with my crown. So she chaperoned me to registration and then walked me back with my case after winning. So thank you for always being my rock, for making me laugh, for she's just amazing. The ultimate pageant girl she is. And then Natalie as well in the run-up. I feel like we have become so close throughout this journey. Our endless voice notes will always keep me entertained. They still continue to this day. And it's such an honour to be sharing this journey with her. My pageant sisters, I love you all so much, and I can't wait to spend this journey with you. And yeah, I'm sure I'm missing lots and lots of people, but just to everyone that's ever supported me in this decade of pageantry.
I think you've covered everyone. I mean, you started with the haters and then you moved on to friends and family. That's pretty comprehensive. So well done there. Okay, let's go through the final 10, and then guys, as I said, if you have any questions, if I've missed anything, I'll circle back and throw them at Dan at the end. But these final 10, last time you thought they were rapid fire, they weren't. This time, why don't we make them rapid fire, because that seems to be how you want to do it. All right, are you ready for this?
No. Yeah,
good. All right. Question 1, favorite word?
Queenie.
Question 2, least favorite word?
It used to be no, but now I like no. Least favorite word. It's a phrase, sold out.
Okay, that's different. Question 3, what turns you on?
The outdoors.
Question 4, what turns you off?
Liars.
What sound or noise do you love?
My cat purring.
Just for the record, is extremely loud. Extremely loud, as I know. What sound or noise do you hate?
Lawnmower in the morning.
If you could pick any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
It would have to be the same, teleportation.
And why?
Why? So I would save money on flights and I could just be there wherever I want to go.
What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
A veterinarian.
And what job or occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
Someone that works in a sewage works.
Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Let's party!
I'm fairly certain that one hasn't changed. Well done. You made it through the final 10. That time we actually did make it rapid fire, since last time you thought it was and it wasn't. I thought this time we should make it rapid fire. All right. So, guys, if you have any questions for Danielle, obviously you've seen her a lot on the podcast, so you probably know way too much about her already. I still find it funny that you used to not like interview, and now it's to the point where sometimes I can't shut you up. I just love that that's gone full 180, complete 180, and now interview is your favorite part, and now you're on a podcast, now you're doing YouTube videos. That boggles my mind. That's got to be a bit of a change.
Yeah, a lot's happened in a year. And I definitely feel like you being a part of my journey has definitely brought me out of my shell. Doing the podcast has definitely, people have got to know the real me and my personality instead of just, the competitor side of me. I feel like people have got to know my personality a lot more as well. And I'm just so thankful.
Well, I mean, first off, you're welcome. Secondly, I can't believe you needed bringing out of your shell. I mean, you seem very out of your shell most of the time. So I can't imagine the Danielle before coming out of the shell, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, it has been a journey, a massive journey over the past 10 years. I've always, I like to think I'm quite funny, but I've always had a sense of humor. I've always liked dad jokes, but sometimes would hold back from saying it because, in case people think it was cringe or like scared of people's judgment. But now I think getting older and obviously doing the lives now, I just kind of like, just do you, hun. You be you.
I do.
So I'm fully embracing that now.
I love the dad jokes. I don't understand how you can have so many for so many different occasions. It seems like you must have sat down for like a year, brainstormed all the possible dad jokes for every situation that would ever come up, and now you just got a stash of them in your head.
I'm like an encyclopedia. If there's like a topic, I'll be able to find a dad joke about it somehow. I don't know how. It's a talent. There's a talent round. Forget the dodgeball now. Stand-up comedy on dad jokes.
I was going to message you this one time. I just thought if there ever is a talent round, you need to do comedy. Okay. Sarah Edmonds has said, hello from Ms. as an MS Galaxy Sudbury. I'll be competing in Miss Galaxy Canada pageant in September. Hopefully that goes ahead because international been pushed back to October. So we're all hoping that life goes back to normal sooner rather than later. Sarah has also said, my why, I'd love to show my son my love of pageantry, volunteerism, and community involvement. Brilliant.
Amazing. Well, if you do any community volunteering work, let me know. I'd love to just tally up all the hours.
So what's the best way if someone's doing... So Danielle wants to get 100 hours of volunteering as a community, not just by herself. So if you've done some volunteering and you want to add it to Danielle's tally, what's the best way to get it to you, Dan?
Just DM me, message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram, tell me your plans so I can like hype it up a little bit. I'll share it. Say, for example, I don't know, you go to a residential home and you go and sing for them. That is volunteering your time. If you've got any videos, I will share it. I need to come up with a hashtag or something for it. And then I'll create certificates as well, where you get like an honorary certificate with your name on it, and it would count as an appearance.
Maybe hashtag 100 hours of volunteering. That probably isn't taken. Just 100 or 100 volunteer. Olivia and Nancy, if you're watching, hello. Just says Olivia McPike and Nancy Hodgson joined. Olivia McPike. I can't help myself.
Stop it, Adrian. Stop it.
Sorry, Olivia, if you're watching, I still can't help myself. Also, we didn't get a photo, Olivia, and I'm upset about it. I didn't get a photo with Imogen, which I was really... I didn't tell you one time, because Imogen had, I think it was on the last night, and she changed out of all her pageant gear, so she was in her flats, and she walked by. I didn't say anything, but I didn't realize, I don't want to sound insensitive, but like that sort of a thing. She
told me this.
I didn't mean to stare. Because I'm normally like, people know how tall I am now, most of you watching, and I just had to do a double take. I was like, I didn't say anything, and she goes, yeah, I'm short. I'm like, I didn't say anything. I'm sorry, Imogen, but we didn't get a photo. Also, Marcy Reed, who you know, apparently came up to me twice for photos, but I didn't see her because I think she's also like 5'2" or something. And I was like, why didn't you just grab me? And like, she said she tried twice and then she gave up. I was like, I literally didn't see her. If you came up to me at Galaxy, wanted a photo, and you think I turned my back on you, just I didn't say no to anyone because I made it very clear I was going to say yes and make the time. So if you didn't get a photo because I didn't see you, I was probably just on another planet, or I was here, and if you're down there sometimes I don't see. But anyway, moving on. Claire Beebe, your runner-up, your first runner-up. And Claire, if you want to do an interview, let me know as well, because I'd love to interview you. But and you can just message me or send me an email, info@thepageantproject.com, if you're up for it. She said, apart from being crowned Miss Galaxy UK, what's your favourite pageant memory?
It would probably, just because it sticks out so much in my mind, was walking out in swimwear at Miss Grand International. That for me was an unreal experience. I felt like a Victoria's Secret angel in that moment. I just felt so empowered. I tripped previously in evening gown because they did evening gown first and then swimwear. So I felt like really upset with myself that I tripped in my gown. I'd spent hundreds of pounds on alterations, so I didn't trip in it because I tripped in it previously. So it was the one thing I was trying to avoid. I tripped, and then my mentality was, as I took the dress off, come on, girl, you got this. And I had to get myself in a zone, pull myself up, because I could have been deflated. I could have been like, oh no, I've lost this now. I put my bikini on and I walked out and I strutted myself. It wasn't my best walk, I will tell you that, because I think I was getting a bit too into it. But I felt so strong. And even afterwards, Lise Garcia, who was the current Miss Grand International at the time, she came out to me and grabbed me and she's like, girl, where has this girl been the entire competition? Why are we just seeing you now? I was just like, I'm here. I did it. I got the stage, you know. So for me, that's probably the most predominant moment in pageantry that I have. Yeah, Grand, I mean, to give people an idea, is massive and it's televised. How many people were in the audience live there? I mean, it was a huge arena, and it was filled with people. They actually held Miss Universe in the same arena as well. So it is that standard big.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at Miss Universe at the time.
So that's the answer to Claire's question. Megan has said, Maggie G has said, I didn't get a photo with you and I'm sad. I assume you're talking to me, Maggie, not to Danielle, because I imagine you've got lots of photos with Danielle. They're looking back at it now. It's like there's photos I didn't take. It was a manic time. I was there, I couldn't believe the weekend was over so quickly. I mean, did it go by quickly for you? It seems forever ago already.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind, wasn't it? And I was constantly on the go. I feel like I left you on red loads of times because I was so busy. And I couldn't reply to people fast. Like I just couldn't keep up with it. I had to like put my phone aside a lot of the time because it was blowing up, and just be in the moment, enjoy it. Because when am I ever going to get this moment back? I don't want to be sat on my phone replying to people all the time. I figured I'd make up time on my way home or at home that I could message everyone back afterwards. But yeah, it flew by because after winning, you know, Brian's shoot, then the teen and the junior, then another shoot, then the Miss, you know, and then next thing we know, we were driving back down to London.
Yeah, it was a absolute whirlwind of a time. It was magnificent. And I mean, I went there obviously from Australia, flew over there pretty much just for the pageant because I was only there for a week and I wanted to stay longer, but with Corona, it's better. It's actually really good that I didn't. But it was amazing. Because back at the beginning of this UK journey for myself, I thought there was something a bit different about UK pageantry. And as we said before, that last night when everyone's just in their PJs and having a good time being themselves, that to me was actually probably my second favorite part. I keep saying my favorite part is when you won. The second favorite part was just that last part where everyone's chilled out, hanging out. That's something I've not experienced. I don't know if you have, but something that I've never experienced in the pageant world is just everyone being themselves in their pajamas, no pretense. And that by far was one of my favorite memories.
Yeah. It was singing.
Claire,
I think we were singing like a High School Musical, and then singing Grease. And I didn't have much of a voice the next day because we were screeching so loudly. Bless the park hall for putting up with us maniacs. But for there's a few newbies that maybe don't come to that. It's usually that it gathers the the veterans, the older lot that go to that, or the has queens. If you are doing Galaxy again, I'm going to make a big event out of this now. If you're doing Galaxy again,
RSVP now.
Yeah, on the Sunday night after the pageant, once everything's done, we all get in our PJs. We all go to the lobby, all hang out. This time we were making TikToks, but it happens every time. There's pizza, there's donuts, there's just people just being slobs and being themselves afterwards, hanging out afterwards. Whether you win or lose, everyone is welcome to that, to just chill.
Yeah, and that pizza that you had, that looked amazing. And I'm sad I didn't get a piece.
You had some. Did you not?
No.
I said you could have some. I got a veggie one. Well, I am veggie, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually really like veggie pizza. But I had the pizza at the park hall and it wasn't great.
I know who did have a slice.
Who?
Joanna Johnson blew her head off because she didn't realise I had like chilies in it.
Oh, that's...
Do you remember? I asked for extra hot, and she obviously didn't realise it's a spicy pizza, and yeah, I blew Joanna Johnson's head off with my spicy pizza.
That's why she's sick now, because of the chili on your pizza.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago, Simon.
Actually, now that you say that, I lie. I do remember having that because I remember the kick. So yes, I did have a piece, and it was very nice. I love veggie pizza. Even if I wasn't a veggie, I'd love veggie pizza for some reason. Claire has said, such a queen, never change, with a yellow one of those. And if I can work out how it's done, I would love to do an interview, total technophobe. Well, that's something you have in common with Ms. Latimer. It's super simple, Claire. All you just use your phone, and if you have a pair of headphones, that's great, like Danielle's got there. And we just use Skype. So you literally just sign up for Skype. It's a free account, and then we can have an interview, just like Danielle is having now. All that Danielle sees is the Skype screen. She doesn't see all of this other stuff that's going on. So super simple. Mm-hmm. You can do that.
But I can't see any of the comments right now, not unless I turn to look at my laptop.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments to you. Hopefully they're actually coming up this time. Last night when I did that live about Charlotte's photos, I only saw the photo as I thought was happening. I saw the comments straight after I hung up. So if I haven't seen your comment, by the way, I haven't read it out, can you put it in again? Because Facebook has this bug where it only shows me some of the comments after I've stopped the live, which is really annoying. Maggie G has said that Sunday night was the best night of my life. It was, yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, and that's the Galaxy family, or should I say the Galaxy family. So Danielle, guys, if you have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, Danielle, when internationals come around, whenever they do, whether it's October or even next year, God forbid, but when they come around, do you have any expectations around internationals, or now that you've got the national crown, was that the main aim and are you just going to be able to enjoy it? Not that you didn't enjoy it, but if you understand what I mean, just completely enjoy it. Anything else is kind of a bonus.
No, the main aim is to just do the best I can to show the judges that I am a worthy queen. So, I'm super happy, over the moon to be UK, but now my eyes are set on a new crown. But I just want to go and have a good time. I'm very fortunate that I went to go watch internationals last year.
Yeah.
So I was there, I got a feel for it. So I'm going into this a little bit more prepared. I have an understanding, seeing it being there. So I felt that was very important for me, because if I was going for UK and if I was lucky enough to get UK, I want to know what I'm getting myself in for internationals. But there's no pressure. There's no expectations. My only expectation is to come out of it with, how many more pageant sisters internationally, because at the end of the day, that is my number one priority. The girls, as I say, I am above all anything in pageantry. I'm a pageant fan, and I'm a pageant girl. So I'm a cheerleader for other girls.
Yeah.
I'll hype up the girls in the category. I'm going to be hyping them up as well, because I don't see it as competition. I just see it as a good time. It is a competition, but it isn't a competition, if you get what I mean. It's I've got different mentality. We're all different. If it's my time, amazing. If it's not the end of the world. I have taken so much more from it, and I still have the rest of my reign left as well. So come what may, and it's going to be a great time. I can feel it, and just know it's going to be surreal being on the other side and being a contestant in it and not just a spectator.
Yep, you're going to have last year audience, this year queen on stage. Did I tell you, because you were talking about competing and you see it differently, did I tell you the actual original meaning of the word compete?
Not too sure.
I can't remember, because I say this quite often. The actual original meaning of the word compete in Latin actually means to seek a goal together, to seek to better yourself together. It doesn't mean win or lose. So when you're competing, the idea is that you are all actually seeking to improve together. Yeah, it's not a win or lose thing at all. That's the original meaning of the word compete.
I love that.
Okay, so looks like we are out of questions because everyone knows far too much about you.
About me. I should just zip it now.
No, it's been fun. I honestly can't imagine you in your shell. I just, to me, I don't see that. But I'm sure it existed at some time. Look, I'm going to let you go. I'll keep you on the line once I hang up. It's been a while since I've done this. But Danielle, thank you so much for your time and all the time on the podcast. And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And please put that crown photo up on the wall.
I will. I will. I promise I will eventually.
If anyone wants to place a bet on the actual date that Danielle will put that photo up, I think we should start a betting pool and we can donate all the proceeds to charity. And there's going to be a lot of proceeds because no one will ever guess when it's going up.
No one will get it correctly. No, I keep saying I'm a commitment phobe. As soon as I put it up, I want to move it. So, I just take it off the bed at night if I feel like I'm going to move around. But a lot of time it stays on there. It doesn't really come down. It has fallen on me a couple of times, mainly when I'm on camera. Unfortunately.
Okay. That's the way it goes. All right. Sarah has said, love the interview. Thank you. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching, whether it's live or the replay. And we'll speak to you again very soon. What's up, guys? It's Adrian again. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com. Join our launch team for our review site. It's super important to all of us to make sure that the industry is safe, transparent, and fair. So head over to pageantlaunch.com. Write in your email address, and we'll speak to you next time.